Remember when Judy Garland married her dealer? I do. Michael DeVinco Jr. was born on September 24th, 1934 in Garfield, New Jersey. Mickey, as Michael was often called, was a musician, a jazz pianist to be exact. He moved around a lot, playing in Miami, LA, and Reno. By 1967, he was working as the manager of Arthur, a discotheque in Manhattan that was owned by Sybil Burton, Richard Burton's first wife. But it was on March 10th that Mickey was asked by a friend to deliver a package of amphetamines to a hotel room at the St. Regis. Dressed as a doctor, Mickey knocked on Judy Garland's door to help deliver what she needed in order to help her make it through the filming of Valley of the Dolls. The 44-year-old actress was quite taken with the 32-year-old Mickey, and the pair dated off and on for 2 years before finally saying "I do" on March 15, 1969 at the Chelsea Register office in London. Judy married a jazz man. And while Judy may have told reporters, "This is it. For the first time in my life, I am really happy. Finally, I am loved. I've just wanted to be married and happy for a long time." It appeared that her family didn't look at their union the same way. Judy had invited hundreds of family and friends to her ceremony, with only a sparse 30 of those invitees showing up. Liza wasn't even one of them. Judy's 23-year-old firstborn had called Judy up and said, "I can't make it, Mama, but I promise I'll come to your next one." The party room at Quaglino's had been booked for the affair, a room large enough to fit the several hundred guests, but by the time the day rolled around, the room was mostly empty. The cake and champagne sat untouched. Judy couldn't understand what had happened, claiming that everyone, friends like Veronica Lake, Betty Davis, and James Mason, had said that they would come. A British reporter commented that it was the saddest and most pathetic party they had ever seen. All these waiters with serviettes on their arms were waiting to serve champagne, he said. But nobody came. There were more waiters than there were guests. Judy Garland getting married for the 5th time? Who gives a shit? It was very, very sad. Judy sat down at the piano and sang "Till the Clouds Roll By." In addition to the wedding, things were not good for Judy at this time. She was broke. She owned thousands in back taxes. She was taking whatever drugs she could get her hands on and drinking extensively. She had been performing at nightclubs to bring in income, but Mickey thought he could help her rebuild her career. He thought he could market her name into a chain of movie theaters and a documentary. But like many of the men who thought that they could put Judy back together again, Mickey could not. Because this time around, there wouldn't be room for any more opportunities to fix Judy Garland, as 3 months after moving into their London flat, Mickey discovered his wife in their bathroom, deceased. After Judy's funeral, Judy's daughter Lorna said that Mickey stopped off at an office to broker what Lorna believed to be a book deal. The Judy biography, Weep No More, My Lady, came out a few years later, so Lorna wasn't sure if that's what he was up to exactly, but the fact that she wouldn't have put it past him says a lot. Mickey went on to have a 4-year-long relationship with Rose Driscoll, and they adopted a son named Richard. In 1983, promoter Roy Radin's life was taken without his consent. Roy's body was found in the desert outside of LA. He had been in the middle of trying to get the film The Cotton Club financed. Mickey had been employed by Roy and was suspected in his employer's expiration. It was no secret that Mickey had ties to the darkest corners of both LA and Miami, which only made his connection to the occult-like disappearance of Roy even more interesting. You see, Roy vanished on May 13th, which is known as Garland Day. Garland Day is a Roman summertime ritual that was associated with things like garlands, obviously, renewal, and sacrifices. It also happened that May 13th landed on a Friday the 13th, which of course has its own dark and mysterious connotations. No actual connection to Mickey was ever made though, and eventually the 4 people who were responsible for Roy's disappearance and death were arrested. Then in 1985, Mickey decided to purchase Franklin Castle, a Victorian stone house built in 1881 in Cleveland, Ohio. It had been added to the National Register of Historic Places 3 years before Mickey purchased it, and is reportedly one of the most haunted houses in Ohio. The man just really couldn't stay away from these things, could he? During his ownership, Mickey put nearly $1 million into renovations, attempting to restore the house back to its former glory, which apparently included a pink hot tub and shag carpet. He ended up selling the home in 1999. Mickey passed away in Ohio on July 11, 2003 at the age of 68 after battling a long-term illness, or maybe from a heart attack. It could be either. Only one more left, and you know it's gonna be all about Judy. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this one. If you did, please save it and share with your friends. It really does help spread the good word of the cult. Not the cult of Garland, the cult of Megs. And don't forget to follow me over on the gram, the 2 of the U, just in case. Good day, and may the cult be with you.